Hello. Today we're going to be talking about how to make your own recipe bank in Clickup and then use that recipe bank to create meal plans over and over again. So, first we're going to make the recipe bank. So, you're going to go ahead and the name of the task is the name of the recipe. And then I know that sometimes I have a PDF and sometimes it's just things that I make that have, random ingredients that I decide to do that turn out well. And then I want to be able to type that out. I don't really want to make a PDF and save it. You could definitely do that if you want to have just one column with one way that the recipe is presented. Maybe it's a PDF, maybe you type everything out. That's totally up to you. So I actually just went on Pinterest, found a bunch of my favorite recipes on Pinterest, uploaded the PDF. You click on them, and this is the printed version of that PDF and that recipe. And then for this one, it is just me typing it in because this spaghetti recipe is a family recipe and it's the only way I make spaghetti. And then the next one is a drop down custom field. This is where I'm putting the recipe type. And so I've got breakfast, dessert, dinner, snack, other, drink, and side dish. And then we have categories. And there's several of them, but we have in here vegan, vegetarian, egg free. And then we also have things like soup, pasta, Italian, anything that you think you might actually search for. Maybe you have some beef and you have a tag for beef. You would go ahead and filter up here for that specific tag right here. You would go filter, you would filter by the tag. You would say, I want to look for all of my vegan, you'd actually do the custom one. So you would go here and you would say, I want to do all of my vegan recipes. And now it's filtered to just show me my vegan recipes that I can search through. And then I also like to do a rating so I can remember, did I actually like this recipe? I really didn't put any in here that I don't like. Maybe some that is a 4-star instead of a 5-star. And there are some new ones I haven't tried yet, like these air fryer baby carrots. I've never done that before. So when I do it, I'll be sure to come in and choose how many stars I think it should get. Now we have our recipe list. So we're going to go to a new list. So if you were doing this from scratch, you would create new list and you would say, monthly, weekly, however you want to say it, meal plan. And now you have a new list. I'm not going to worry about the statuses. It's going to take it a second. I'm going to refresh because I am impatient. So this is the default view that most people see in ClickUp. You've got list and board. I don't like either of those. I usually use table as you just saw. And for this, we're actually going to use both table and calendar. So we're going to have calendar be the default because that's one that we want to see when we check this every time after we've planned. And then we're going to pin the table because that's just my preferred view. So once you've done that, eventually we're going to set it up to look like this. So you're going to have the name that you type in for the task. So it's not like you have to type in the whole thing. It's just a general like Taco Tuesday. I'm going to pull in the recipe for turkey tacos. So the way I am pulling this in is I'm creating a new custom field. So if I go over here to the new meal plan list that you've made and I search for relationship, and I can say recipe reference, and I'm going to say 2 because I've already done this, and I'm going to pull from that recipe bank and I'm going to do the roll up here. What the roll up is going to do is that if I ever change anything on these fields, it will update it for me on here. So I am going to choose all of those fields and then I'm going to click create. And then when I go into my meal plan, I am personally visual. So I want to see the entire month so that I can plan things out. So the first thing I always recommend when you're doing meal planning, as you probably already know, is that you want to go ahead and do the things that are the easiest to do. So if you know that on Tuesdays or every other Tuesday, you're going to do Taco Tuesday, go ahead and put that in there. If you know Friday night is pizza night, and I know that one week we're going to make them at home, one week we're going to go out and we're going to rotate, go ahead and put that on there. The easiest things first. Then after that, you can kind of start thinking about what you have and what you want to use. That's when you would go to your recipe bank, use that filter, and find the recipes that you could possibly use with things you already have. Now we get to the planning part. So you can do this either on the calendar or the table. I recommend pulling it in on the table so that it's easier to see this recipe reference field. If you do it on the calendar, you're going to have to, it doesn't show you all the fields. So we're going to start by coming over here, and you go ahead and start thinking about all the recipes you might want to use. So if I'm thinking, I know one night I want to make the spaghetti recipe. So go ahead and do that. I hit enter. Don't worry about the date yet. And then this is where we're going to pull that recipe in. It's going to pull up this entire list. I'm going to search for my spaghetti recipe, and now it is in this field. You can go ahead and look at this if you want to go ahead and do the date, and you can say, okay, I know Thursday I want to make spaghetti. Now, when you come to your calendar, it looks really nice and neat because you can see, okay, that's Taco Tuesday. This is what we're having Wednesday, and then spaghetti is this day, and you can click on it here. You can split your screen because you're going to click this recipe reference, and you can do one of two things. You can slide over right here, or you can click the recipe itself, which is what I would probably do. And then go ahead. I don't have a recipe in here because it's tacos. Not yet anyways. So this is where you would see your attached recipe. So like, let's go back. Let's look at my spaghetti. I know the recipe is in there. I click this recipe reference and go ahead and click on it because I don't want to slide over. And then here it is. So I've got dinner, I've got my rating, my tags, and then here's the recipe itself. I go back to the meal plan, say I want to do one with a PDF. For example, I just typed in PB granola. That is not its full name. It's peanut butter chia seed granola, one of my favorite granola recipes. So we click on it. Again, you can see it here, and you can go ahead and click that if you want, and if it's showing up on your screen. So you can see here that this is the PDF. I have it pulled up, and Clickup has a mobile app, so you can use that on your phone too. And then when you're finished, and let's say we had tacos yesterday. Oh, and this is another great feature is that if you change your mind, you just drag and drop it. Now it's a different day. So let's say this was the past day, and for whatever reason, you just want to clear it off. All you got to do is clear that due date. Go back to that meal plan, and you can leave it there if you like, because what's going to happen if you leave it here on the back end, and then let's say we want to add it again. Let's say there's another Tuesday, and we're like Taco Tuesday again, and we want to pull in that turkey tacos. You can do that. It's not like you can only limit to pulling it in once. You can pull it in as many times as you want. Just be careful that this doesn't get super cluttered in the back, because what you don't want to do is pull it in like 100 times and then everything get cluttered in here. So you can, go ahead and delete this because we're deleting a task in our meal plan. We're not deleting the recipe from the recipe list. We're just referencing it here in the task. So if you delete this task, it's not going to delete the turkey taco recipe. So I hope that this was helpful. So essentially what you're going to do is go ahead and create a table in Clickup. You're going to create your custom fields and make your recipe bank. Then you're going to make a new list with a table and a calendar so that you can list out the recipes you want to make, and go ahead and if you want to choose the due date, you can, and then you can just drag and drop over here however you want. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.